I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
Man, I'm super excited to do this. Okay. So, as per usual, guys, we'll ask the Formula One questions. We'll go back and forth, and then we'll get some responses. My stated goal is to get to 1,000 followers. Kevin, do you have any goals you want to share with?
I'm at I'm at 13,000 right now.
Beautiful.
13,002. I had a video kind of go viral the other day about Lewis Hamilton. So I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
get to my goal is to get to 20 by the time we get to Monaco. So
Nice,
we'll see.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, speaking into existence, man, let's get it done. I like it. So, you guys know what
Yeah.
to do. All right. So, question number one: Who do you have winning the constructors? Who do you have winning the drivers for the 2026 season?
2026. Oh man, I'm such a Lewis Hamilton stan, but with that being said, you know who I think I would like to see win, who deserves to win, especially if Ferrari can do it, is Charles Leclerc.
Now I've got to ask. Okay, so being a Lewis guy, how would you
Yeah.
feel if Charles got it over Lewis? If the car's competitive, that means.
If the car is competitive, the car is competitive. I think people have to always remember it's a team sport at the end of the day, right? We watched this whole dynamic happen between one driver and two driver, Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton.
Hmm.
I think Lewis being who he is, where he's been, I don't mind the fact that Charles wins, right? Because at the end of the day, Charles has been in the sport for 9 years now and has never even gotten to that like contention part, right?
Yeah.
And I believe this is another hot take. I believe if it's not Charles, it's going to be George Russell,
Hmm.
um,
Okay.
because George has quietly sat and played the game and sat behind some great drivers like Lewis Hamilton. Now he's with Kimi Antonelli being his co-pilot, right? I think that George
Mhm.
has done a good job just kind of always being in the mix at the right time at the right
Yeah.
place. But yeah, I don't mind Charles winning over Lewis because Charles is a phenomenal driver. He just has always been dealt a kind of terrible deck of cards with strategy,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true.
Yeah.
And to your point about George winning, it's interesting. All the people I've talked to, Lando's really only came up once or twice.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a year where we get to find out if Lando really does have the goods or not.
Yeah,
Because
truly.
now I think the cards are all on the table now.
Yeah, it's a clean slate, right? Everyone's starting over, and we get to see who's going to do what and how and why. And I think Lando
Mhm.
is a great driver, and mind you, Lando and George Russell have been in they came into Formula One together, right?
Yeah.
So it's impressive to see Lando do what he did last year. I think when it comes down to George Russell, George just has that he's sat at Williams. He was able to kind of work his way up and go into the Mercedes garage, right?
Mhm.
He's kind of paid his dues is
Yeah,
what I
his
want to
dudes, yeah.
say,
Mhm.
you know? And
Yeah.
I think it's there from. I believe Charles Leclerc is the better driver and a better car. The question will always be strategy. Can
Yeah.
strategy keep up?
Yeah. And I think this might be the year we get that. Every year they say there's going to be 5 or 6 teams that can
Of
do it, and
course.
we always kind of fall for it. But it just seems like this year, with the struggles and the way the cars are driving differently,
Yeah.
that this will be a year where we really get to find out. Okay,
Yeah.
who's the guy? And so I'm
Yeah.
not in disagreement about that. I like the answer there.
Definitely.
All right, so who do you think is the most underrated technical driver on the grid? Under.
I think now that we have 22 drivers, right?
Hmm.
With Cadillac being in the mix, I have two people. I'm gonna give you if I had just off the rip because I met him and I like him. Alex Albon is number one. Alex
Alex,
Albon's Alex is an
interesting.
absolute dog. I think he's an incredible driver. I think he's doesn't get enough credit. He's
Mhm.
from being his career the way it played itself out at Red Bull to then on to over to Williams now, I
Yeah,
just think Alex is a really, really good technical driver. My second driver, if I had to not choose Alex, would be Checo Perez.
nice. So I was gonna go. So I was gonna go Carlos
Hmm.
and Alex. Those are the two
Yeah,
that I have, which are teammates, obviously. But I feel like they're both. But Checo's a great answer too. Simply, if only because he was the only one that seems to be able to figure it out that Red Bull. He had more time,
he had
but
more time, but
he
he's
was
also the only person that was able to do it.
consistently getting
Yeah,
better. It was
yeah,
always getting better, and it just seems like with every other driver, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse.
100%.
So,
Checo's the only other
yeah.
person I can think of that has been put into a position where he had no choice but to figure it out.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, and
And
and I think being I don't know what it's like, but like I can imagine being someone like Max Verstappen's counterpart. I believe that is a challenging feat in itself. And
yeah,
Checo, if we think back to 2022, 2023, 2024, he did the thing, right? He made
yeah,
it work for Red Bull when he
yeah.
was over there, right? And so
They were
I
finishing one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I give it to Checo. I'm here for that.
You know what else? Interesting about the Checo thing is Checo not only was able to drive that car, but if you look at Danny, for instance, who was there right before
Yeah,
him, Danny
yeah,
was able to drive the car, but he was not able to deal with the fact that they wanted Max to be the guy. And I
yes,
think Checo came in understanding that.
yes,
And at the end, of course, didn't like it so much, but I think in
of
the
course,
beginning he played his role. And so
100%.
Cadillac's done a good job. They picked the right people, I think, for their team.
Pick the right people, and I think they're gonna go into the season open-minded, right?
Mhm.
We don't have a one or two driver, just open-minded. Whoever can put points on the board is gonna be the one that we want
Yeah.
to stand behind the most.
Yeah.
So we'll
I
see.
don't get the happy to be here vibes from them. Like I get the we'll let them do what they do because we want to get the very best out of this car. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. I mean, I'm excited for. I guess when I say happy to be here in the sense that like they have a working car, a great team, and they also are coming from the WEC series,
hmm
right?
hmm
With all a lot of information in racing. So I think that I
Yes.
say happy to be here. Like we finally got the F1 team here. Now let's actually
hmm
jump into this and make things happen.
hmm So I mean it on both ways because like the for the first way you meant it, when we're
Hmm.
saying happy to be here, I actually agree with you 100% on that. Like that's the vibes I get. But on the
Yeah.
flip side, I don't get the we're just here to see what's going to happen
Oh
part.
no.
So I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Definitely.
I agree with you 1,000% on that, man. That's going to be
Yeah.
a barn burner at the end of the year. Let me jump to
I
this
think
next
so.
one real quick. 1 second. Closed my okay. All right. So which team principal would you choose to build a team around if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one, like in the current climate of I can take any team principal, you're
Or
saying?
or shoot from the hip. If you got somebody that's not there right now, you feel like will do a better job than, whoever else. But you got I'm
Huh.
talking about like taking a team from nothing to where they've got it. So Cadillac, for instance. Who
Yeah.
do you really
Yeah.
want in that position?
I mean, this might be, I guess, a controversial take. I honestly, based off what I know, right, and I've only been watching Formula One since about 2017, 2018.
hmm
I think someone who didn't get enough credit, minus his exit, was Christian Horner, right? Christian Horner, his personal life is his personal life. I know nothing
Yeah.
about that. But when it
Yeah.
comes to like his dominant era of what he did
hmm
in Formula One
hmm
for Red Bull, I think he kind of had it figured out, right? He did a
He's a
really
winner.
good job.
He's a winner. And that
Yeah,
was kind of the number one thing that I came out of that whole thing with, outside of, you know what, if there's something going on that's, nefarious or illegal or whatever,
sure.
I'm
That's their
separating that
business.
from this. So that's
Yeah,
something that needs to be dealt with personally. But
yeah.
from just the results, I mean, he had Max, of course, but I mean, other teams had Lewis, other
Regardless,
teams had, Fernando, other teams had Charles.
yeah.
So he
Think
made
if
it
he
work.
had a Max. Think if he didn't have a Max. Let's just say he had a Danny Rick and he had a Lewis Hamilton, or let's say he had a
hmm
Valtteri Bottas and a Alex Albon. Right? I mean, I just think he's gonna produce what he can get the maximum out of that person. With, you
And
know?
just you listen back to like the messages from 21,
Yeah,
where he was basically figuring out how to get what he wanted out of that situation.
definitely.
And in the reverse, Toto complained, but not really. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Christian
of course, and I think
insisted,
there's respect there, right? From
yeah,
Toto. I think he sees the Christian Horner's not an idiot, man. He knew what
yeah,
he was doing, and he understands how to run a team. And I think he did an incredible job at Red Bull,
yeah,
minus the fact of the things, the nonsense in the
of
background.
course,
Still, I
of
think he
course.
did an incredible job. So that's who I would
And
go with.
I think it's also important that I think it's important that we will be able to talk about people like Christian Horner, controversial figures like that, and
Yeah,
separate some things that may have been done in the past and not
yeah,
making any judgments on that and just talk about the racing.
yeah.
And like I said, or like both of us are saying, he's just got so many results. It's hard to pick anybody else, honestly.
It's hard. It's hard.
Um,
It's hard. I don't care for Flavio, who's over at Alpine right now, right? I don't care for. Yes, I would take a Total Wolf
Flavio's
as well,
crazy.
but yeah, Flavio's crazy. He's insane, right? But like when I think about it, like I would take a Jonathan Wheatley, right? Who's at Audi, right? I think
hmm
Jonathan's really good at what he does, but I don't know if
hmm
he's my guy, right? I think
Yeah,
he's good at what he does. We'll see what happens with Audi this year and
yeah,
how they go on with that because he came from Red Bull at the end of the day.
right.
So there's a lot of options, but I think if I'm just simply coming out guns blazing, new team, rebuilding, structure everything, right? Who's someone who's been there, done this whole situation? I'm going
Mhm.
Christian Horner all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah. And the only other person that I would consider is probably James Vowles. I think he does an
Yeah,
incredible job.
yeah,
At
definitely.
the I think he does an incredible job of just he seems very professional. Like he seems like
James Valls is chef's kiss. Can't you,
yeah.
no, he's a perfect candidate as well.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Um All right, you got to keep one. No, no, this is even better. All right. So you are an F1 steward and you get to change one
Mm,
rule or regulation. What are you getting rid of?
mhm.
Or what are you
If
changing?
I'm, I think if I'm changing one rule, and this is, I think, my own personal idea of something that could be kind of interesting as far as mixing up with the points,
Hmm.
I'm gonna give points out all the way till P15.
Okay.
Um, so I think
Why?
adding, I think it gives an opportunity for the midfield, end of the field team cars to fight for a bit more as well, right?
Mhm.
Because say let's just say it's Alpine and let's say it's VCAP and let's say it's whoever else, right? If you're able to kind of inch out and beat out another midfield team like Williams or whoever, right?
Yeah.
And you're able to get maybe you have a terrible first half of the season and maybe you have an insane dominant part of the season, right? Um midway through. At least you're not just like kind of coming from the bottom. You're like still kind of getting up there a little bit, you know?
Sorry, I had somebody calling in at the same time.
It's all good.
Unprofessional.
It's all good. I hear it happens, man.
Um, okay, so I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
And I think the fact of the matter is when you've got so many drivers on the grid,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Okay, we've got so many drivers on the grid at this point that some of
Yeah.
these changes are going to be necessary, and I'm not sure who is going to I'm not sure who is going to take the reins and say yes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of
Like, who's
course.
willing
Of
to make
course.
changes? You know what I
Of
mean?
course. Of course.
Do you feel like the FIA is in a stage right now where major changes will be made regardless, or do you think they kind of just put it out there and then that's going to be that?
Uh, I think I have my own ideas, I guess, of what I think about that. My problem with the FIA is I think more or less the president of the FIA at the current climate right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It feels very um it feels very calculated is what I'll say a lot of
Mhm,
times
mhm.
with what they allow and what they don't allow. And then sometimes there feels to be a bit of favoritism at times, right? As we see throughout the season and,
Yeah.
and all things life. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on if things are going to get better or worse, or if they're going to add or
Mhm.
take away things. The new cars add a whole new element of things, obviously, for us this season.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what is going to happen.
Hmm.
All things life, I think, still if I'm just sticking to the question, I think adding points to 15th on the grid makes a bit of a difference for some of the teams, especially with the ones that are the midfield teams, whoever that may
Yeah.
be, with being able to also, still get the ability to win some money at the end of the season and then and
You
then have more time to develop their cars.
you know where I think this makes the biggest difference, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? At first, I was thinking, okay, nah, just top 10, I think is good. But then now that I think about it, the more you explain it, I'm thinking, okay, there could be a team like, and I think this happened last year, a Haas, for instance, that due
Yeah.
to circumstances ends up getting a second or third place finish. You
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And it really didn't have anything to do with the quality of their racecraft versus the other
No.
teams. It had to do with the
No.
circumstance on a certain day. And so that would give other teams a chance to continue to win consistently and catch up versus it was impossible to Williams isn't getting a second place. You know what I
No.
mean?
Exactly.
Audi isn't getting a second place or stake
Yeah.
whatever they were. So
Yeah.
that's actually not a bad idea, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it gives them just an opportunity to kind of get into the mix a little bit, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's my hot take on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. I like it. At first I was vehemently disagreed, but now you've taken me over to your side, my friend. I like it.
Here for it. Here
All
for it.
right, so you have to keep a grid, you have to lose a grid, and you have to reverse one. Okay, so we're
Okay.
keeping one. One has to go off the calendar completely, and one you're just flipping the direction we're racing the cars in. So we have
Okay.
Barcelona, Canada, and
Okay.
Qatar.
And where?
Qatar.
Qatar's gone immediately because
Said immediately.
yeah, immediately
It
because
didn't
isn't
think what
because
it was.
because Qatar technically is a MotoGP track, right? That
Yeah,
they
yeah,
that they
yeah.
converted
Agreed.
into. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, Qatar can we can go ahead and just exit like we can get that
Yeah,
one out of
you
there
can
immediately. I
go.
think if we're gonna do one in reverse, I'm gonna say let's do Canada in reverse, right?
Mm,
I
the
think that could be kind
big
of fun.
U is going to be
Yeah,
interesting reverse. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
right at the finish line they have that hard right and left coming back at the wall.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
That could
that
be
that
fun.
would be kind of
Okay.
cool to see the reverse effect of that,
Mm.
and then obviously keeping Barcelona and going from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
Nice. All right, so I'm throwing you a curveball. You've got
yep.
to fix Monaco. What are we doing?
Oh, I love this question.
We
So
gotta keep
Monaco,
it. Like, what are you
this is
doing?
perfect. Perfect. Okay, so you know how I mean a lot of people don't understand this perspective, but I think I'll explain it as best I can. You know how you have Pro Bowl NBA All-Star weekend?
We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Yes, sir.
So all you do is you make Monaco All-Star weekend for F1.
Yes.
You give a show, right? Instead of you having some crazy race, maybe you have one car, right? You
hmm
do a relay race, right? Put down the fastest laps, whatever, or maybe you even better if you're able to with some of these cars. Now that we got Cadillac in the mix, you make them drive street legal cars, right? And you just
Ooh.
and you
Let
race
me
the
see what
track
you
in
can
street
do.
legal
Yeah.
cars, right? Like
Interesting.
just mix it up in some aspect, right?
hmm
Give me a Aston Martin Valkyrie and an Aston Martin Valhalla out there, right?
Yeah.
And give me a Ferrari LaFerrari and a freaking and a F40, and they're
hmm
doing a relay race, right? And you're
Yeah.
just having fun with it instead of this
You
whole
know what? I like that. And because like it would increase it because we have to go through the pits every single time to switch
yes,
cars out, things like that.
yes,
The logistics would be crazy. What are your thoughts on, okay, so same idea. So you
yeah,
have, let's say Red Bull. Max,
yeah,
the second driver, of course, is who's that? Hadger.
yeah,
And then
Isaac,
for the third driver in whatever car, it's got to be either a Formula One Academy driver
I'm here for it.
or your driver who's the test driver, that guy.
I'm here for it.
You know what I
Reserve
mean?
anybody. It doesn't make a difference. You
It
make
would
it an
be,
all-star weekend.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that would I think because already Monaco's a show, right?
yeah.
Like it's the most sought after race that everyone wants to see, and every year we're like, oh, who's gonna do what? And yes, was it great when Charles Leclerc won? 100%. We were
That
all
was awesome.
excited,
Yeah.
right? It was huge. The kid from Monaco,
Yeah.
this and that.
Bro, the
He's
call was cool.
screaming. It's
Yeah.
epic, right? But
Yeah.
imagine it's All Star Weekend. It's like it's already such a big deal to be at Monaco,
hmm
and such a crazy with the yachts and the marina everywhere, and everyone's so excited. Just make it All Star Weekend and give us some street legal race cars. They all produce incredible cars,
Yeah.
right? Like imagine seeing a Ford Raptor out there and a Ford. Oh my God, what's the F40? Not the
Yeah.
F40.
Yeah.
The other one they have.
Are you talking about the car,
Yes,
I know what you're talking about, like the Mark 40 or something like that, right?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Or
Yeah.
even put the GTD out there. I don't. Doesn't make a
hmm
difference. Like they can put
hmm
anything out there, right? And you're
Yeah.
racing against these cars and putting down fast laps. I think that would make Monaco that much more exciting.
You talk about engaging Max Verstappen. Max would live for that weekend,
A
especially
hundred
if you gave him
percent.
different cars to drive for the
A
weekend.
hundred percent.
And then I think, okay, so Monaco already is a cash cow already. But
Yes.
monetarily speaking,
Yes.
if you made that into All-Star Weekend, you change the dynamic. And it's not just race fans coming now. Now you have all the celebrities that want to come in,
Yes.
do the
Yes.
yacht thing. Plus the fans would be
Yes.
there, of course. And it just
I
that
agree.
it's so simple. It's almost ridiculous. It hasn't been done
It's
yet.
it's crazy to me that they are like, oh, we're gonna have smaller cars. Yes, the cars will be smaller. Yes, they'll extend the track. Great, whatever. The fact that they renegotiated the contract for another decade, right? And they're
Mhm.
just gonna continue to keep doing the same thing. I'm like, you guys are going to have to mix it up somewhere.
With the
Something's
same
going to have to
complaints.
change.
Like it's not like it's a
Sa-
different complaint every year. It's the exact same complaint. The cars are too big.
Same
They can't
thing.
pass.
Same
You know?
thing. So something has to change, right? And,
Yeah.
and that's why I say I think you just, I mean, with the sport growing as much as this is, I mean, look at Drive to Survive comes out in what 5 days, and
hmm
everyone's gonna get hyped up. Then we got Australia. The sport is truly growing at an exponential rate. You just have to make a little bit of a change somewhere, and I think by
Yeah.
making Monaco it's almost mid-season. You just do a proper Pro Bowl All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
You make it rich and famous. It's
hmm
Monaco. It's the
hmm
lights, the cameras, the
It's
action.
all
I
the
think
stage is already set.
it's already set. Just change a few things and you're good to go. It's not that hard to do.
Either that or we put Max Verstappen at the end of the grid in a smaller car and see what he can do. Because you have
or
to get to the front
or
by the end, buddy.
or we reverse drive Monaco.
Mm, that'd be crazy too because of the section right after the bridge
Yep.
that the chicane
Yeah,
right
the little
there.
chicane right there.
That
Yeah.
would be good. But
Yeah.
here's another thing also. Monaco could also be a super simple fix. I don't know if they could just make that a straight, like go through
They
the tunnel
could.
with a
They could
straight.
turn that into a straight two and it would be
I mean,
perfect,
it
honestly.
if they want to get more, I mean, it'd be the only overtaking spot on the track, but I mean,
You're not
still,
wrong.
that
You're
would
not wrong.
create it.
Or if you do this, or like you said earlier, you do a relay race, right?
Mhm.
Whoever puts down the fastest lap, the from each team, that driver lines up on the grid and they go out and race, let's just say 5 laps, right?
Mhm.
Less cars on the grid, more ability to pass,
Yeah,
right? And then after 5 laps, they do a relay. The next person comes in, the next person goes out, and they do the same thing until the
yeah,
race is over.
yeah.
You just have to switch it up somewhere.
and more about the fun than it is about the racing. Like, cause you remember when they did the Lego car thing and they were just on
Yeah.
those guys were having so
Pinnacle.
much
That was
fun.
peak.
Yeah,
Miami
yeah,
blew us all out the water with that. That was
yeah.
the best experience I think I've ever. And I was there, and I was like, "Oh, this is
Oh, you
incredible."
were there?
Yeah,
Oh man, I've got to go to this one, man. The
yeah, it was
Miami's
cool.
the one I haven't been to Miami. I've done Austin and I've done Canada, but I haven't done any of the other races.
I heard
You've done
Canada's a pretty cool. I heard Canada's
Canada's
an
fun.
incredible circuit.
It's well organized, and
Yeah,
I go every year. Even sometimes I don't go to Austin and I go to Canada, but
amazing. Yeah, I did all the American races last year. Well, not last year. Yeah, last year I did Miami, Coda, and I did Las Vegas.
which one was your favorite?
I think Coda's like top tier,
Coda?
honestly.
Yeah.
I think for what it is,
Hmm.
still it's still nice out, and that's also you can throw this in there. I was there with I ride bikes for this company called Canyon Bikes, who works
Yeah.
with Valtteri Bottas. So I got to hang out and ride with Valtteri for a couple of days while I was there, and talk all
Hmm.
things F1 and chop it up about his what he's
Yeah.
excited for about Cadillac and whatnot. So yeah, Coda was probably my best experience last year. It was pretty. It was a lot of fun.
So I'm glad you said that because this was like a little ulterior motive that I have when we had when you said you do this interview.
Yeah,
You do so many other things in like quote quote
yeah.
motorsport or just like things. What how did you kind of get into all these different things, man?
Man, right time, wrong place. I don't even know how to go. It's just
Uh-huh.
I grew up in Los Angeles.
Hmm.
I grew up snow skiing of all things here in Los Angeles.
Really?
Which yeah, my parents used to have a place up in Big Bear, so I would go up there on the
Hmm.
weekends and ski on the weekends. I started skiing when I was 3, racing when I was 5, competing when I was like probably like 6 or 7. Did that
Huh.
all up until I was about 18.
Speed is in your
My
veins.
Yeah, it's a speed. I'm an adrenaline junkie all the way through.
Yeah.
And then one of my childhood friends, he was a stuntman. His dad's a stuntman. And then as we got out of high school, opportunity presented itself, and then I just kind of got into doing stunts. I've been working in the film industry since I was about 24. I'm
Yeah.
38 now,
Hmm.
so the math is there. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, like 16 years,
Yeah,
17
yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm in.
yeah, and then after that, I got into stunts, and then I have been doing stunts for Don Cheadle, the actor,
Nice.
on all things Iron Man and all the Avengers stuff and Black Panther and
Mhm.
stuff. And yeah, just I kind of am just I do photography as well. I've been a bit of
Yeah.
everywhere, man. I just like I said, right time,
Yeah.
wrong place, or wrong time, right place, and just it just kind of works itself out in my
Bro, how
favor.
amazing is that? Like I'm just
Yeah,
listening
it's
to
been
your story and just like without knowing any details, it
yeah,
just it just seems like there's so much joy just in one where everything is just high paced. Everything you're doing is high paced, and it all kind
uh
of matches up, Formula One,
yeah,
bike riding, stunt
yeah,
doubles,
yeah.
everything. So that's really cool, man. That's really cool.
Thank
I'm
you,
really
man.
happy for you.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate, and yeah, F1 came into my life, and right before, I'd say, like, I think it was 2017, and
Hmm.
I just remember I was like, this is kind of sick, actually.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of like a really cool sport. It's like high paced, and like I
Hmm.
like driving cars, and I drive
Hmm.
cars on set, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
is actually like something I can get into, and I understand the
Hmm.
dynamic of it all, and right, and
Right,
then
right.
also, who doesn't love Lewis Hamilton? We all know who he is, so you
You
know,
know what's
it.
interesting about Formula One in general to me is the complexity of it. It's not
Oh
just
yeah,
car go fast, go around car that's not going so fast. There's a lot
yeah,
more to it. There's so many little details. Like just listening to them talk about all the technical stuff that's happening in the
yeah.
background while they're driving. It's
I
like,
mean, think about it, dude. We watched that during 2021 when Lewis and Bono, when they were able to pit
mm,
him early,
hmm, hmm,
and then
three stopper.
get three stopper, right?
Yeah.
Everyone did the technical. It's just it's impressive. So
Mhm.
I think when you look at the logistics of what F1 is, strategists, engineers, team principals, pit crew, everything, right?
Mhm.
It's more than just one person. And I understand a lot of people like attach on to that one person. Like I'm a big
Yeah.
Danny Ricciardo fan,
Hmm.
and I always will be a big Danny Ricciardo fan. I miss Danny Ricciardo being
Me too.
in Formula One. It
Yeah.
is what it is. He did what he did, but at the same time, it wasn't just him. It was so many other people that helped him get to where he got to and had the career he had. So,
Yeah.
I enjoy the
It
sport
truly
so
takes a
much, man.
village.
Yeah, it
Truly.
takes a village to do the sport, and it's great, and I love it for that. So yeah, I'm glad it found me, and I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of the same ilk, man, where it's just like once I started watching it and getting to the details of it, it just hooked me. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just and the
Th-
personalities being so different is what I think
yeah,
makes it so interesting. So not everybody is just the same guy. Max is a different guy.
yeah,
Lewis is
yeah,
a different guy.
yeah.
And so I don't know, man. It's great. It's great.
I agree. It's good stuff, man. That's for sure. What got you? What got you in Formula One?
That dang show. I
Yeah.
was bored and clicked on it. So okay, so this is you'll understand when I get to it. So
Yeah.
I am very much into trailers.
Okay.
It amazes me what you can do, how you can captivate somebody in a 2 minute period to make them want to go either sit in a 2 hour movie, watch a TV series.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
TikTok is kind of the same algorithmic thought process where you're taking a small motion and you need to hold on to the audience as long as possible.
Yeah.
But more so just like the cinematography behind it, where
Yeah.
you'll have the voice in the background and this amazing clip. So anyway, um that damn Drive to Survive trailer came on and I'm just obsessed with the trailer aspect of it. And then of course it draws me in and then you watch it and then they do a really good job in the first couple of seasons.
Yeah.
If you've never seen Formula One, the
Yeah.
first couple of seasons really draw you into the sport. And then I don't know that
Yeah.
I've even watched too many seasons after the first two or three. And it's just been to me, it's been a because they have such a great apparatus behind
Hmm.
it, and you can go back and watch all the seasons. Right, I must have watched 5 or 6 seasons of Formula
Wow.
One, just like
Yeah.
because the only thing
Yeah.
you miss is I don't know the feeling behind what was happening when this race was going on. Like I
Of
won't
course.
10 years from now, nobody's gonna understand that Max really didn't have a car. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he was
Yeah.
sneaking
Of
up on
course.
Lando the whole time.
Of
And
course.
so yeah, man, I'm definitely in. Are you going
That's
to any
awesome.
races this year?
I would like to go back to Miami. I would like to do I would love to do Monza. That's like
Hmm.
on my list of places I would love to
Yeah.
go to.
Yeah.
I would love to also try and make it to Silverstone. And I think if I had to choose one where I would definitely go back to Coda.
Do you have a bucket list race where if you could just choose one race, all expenses paid, you're in there, which one you going to? Full
Ooh, all
experience.
expenses paid. I'm going to. It would have been Imola if they would have kept it on the circuit, which
Hmm.
obviously is what it is. And I think if
Yeah.
I had to do that now, a race I'm going to for sure probably would be I'm gonna say Japan.
It's
Japan seems pretty
done.
sick.
Done.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm
Japan,
I'm thinking about doing the Singapore one. I want to do that one, and I want to do Japan. Those are my two.
yeah.
You know.
Japan seems like it'd be pretty cool just from the culture, the cherry blossoms, the whole
Yeah.
nine yards, the history, all of it. So
They
it's a great
seem to
circuit.
do a good job just like
Yeah,
putting that whole thing together, man. Like they
yeah.
don't they don't spare expense in that race, man. I
No,
really
at
like
all.
it.
And like you can just tell by the fandom,
Mhm.
all the people that are there, like it just seems like a great experience from start to finish. So
Yeah. Yeah, for
that's
sure.
one for me that's big on the bucket list.
Sure. All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you
man.
so much again for doing this, man. I really
Of course,
appreciate
man.
it.
Thanks for having me.
We definitely got to do it again sometime during the year when you're available. But this
Yeah,
was
man.
great. And if you guys haven't done it already, you know what our goals are. We've stated them already. So like, subscribe, do what you need to do, and we'll talk soon.